The fact that Taylor and Talan used to get into screaming fights on the phone to the point that people thought they were actually together because of the intensity of the fight is hilarious.
Yeah.
Talan is the most dramatic person.
The most.
He's fighting with everybody like he's their boyfriend. Kristen, Taylor, like, he just is a drama king.
Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Millennial TV. As always, we are your hosts, Liz,
Candace,
And Adrienne.
Today is part 2 of the special features from the Laguna Beach Season 2 DVD box set. Last week we discussed the deleted scenes and cast interviews, so if you missed that, I recommend going back to give it a listen. Today we will be covering the casting tapes and a few of the special featurettes. But first, let's talk about this week's pop culture news. So for this week's pop culture news, I thought it would be fun to talk about Amber Portwood from MTV's Teen Mom. She has been making headlines this week after her new fiancé, Gary Waite, has gone missing. If you need a refresher, Amber is the mom of Leah, who she had with Gary Shirley. They were on MTV's 16 and Pregnant, and then they were on the first season of Teen Mom. And you may remember her from moments such as going to prison for domestic abuse against Gary Shirley in 2011. Or for one of the worst proposals on the show after Gary bought her a ring at Walmart for $20.
$20!
And he didn't propose to her with that ring, but...
No, he did. He did propose to her with that ring, didn't he?
It was a different ring at the beach, and then remember he almost like dropped it in the water, and she's like, "Are you gonna ask me?" Yeah.
No.
Okay.
That was a different time. He did propose with the original
he
pink
did.
ring,
Yeah, he proposed
but
2 times.
Yeah.
But then the like official time, it was a different ring.
I'm like, get the timeline right, because this is like my favorite shit.
And he like, when he bought it at Walmart, he asked the return policy too on the ring.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's so sad.
I love it. So Amber's currently on Teen Mom, The Next Chapter, where she recently introduced her new fiancé, Gary Waite, and they began dating January of this year, and they're now engaged. Gary was reported missing on June 11th and was last seen in North Carolina on June 9th. And the rumors are that people saw the two of them having a big fight right before he went missing. And Amber has come out to say that it was not a big blowout fight or anything, but instead it was just a simple discussion before he left. And so here's a quote she said in a recent interview. She said, "Nobody was heated or anything. It was emotional because it had something to do with the fact of his parents being Vietnamese and me being who I am. He was very upset about this. I was upset. We do not yell at each other. We do not hurt each other." I don't understand that quote at all.
One time for the Asians. Okay, if anyone knows where that quote is from, I love you. Put it out there.
So she then said that he took his keys and wallet when he left, but he didn't take his phone. And so there was a lot of immediate speculation that Amber did something to him, which seems crazy. But with her past of how violent she can get, it seems like everyone's mind immediately went to that being a possibility, that she like murdered him. So just today it was reported, though, that the police got his license plate on a car driving in Oklahoma. And then a Verizon store in Oklahoma also confirmed that he was there. So it seems like he's alive, but no one knows why he left without a phone and why he drove hundreds of miles away from her. I'm not caught up on this new Teen Mom show, but from what I did watch, Amber is horrible. You know, as always, I was appalled by the stuff she was doing to Leah in this most recent episode. What do you guys think? Do you think Gary's dead?
Oh my god, okay.
I don't think Gary's dead.
This will not make it to air if it comes out that Gary is dead, by the way.
No, he's not. He's been spotted.
He's not dead. Okay. But what if he was?
Okay. First of all, I have been living for this story all week long because it's like the most random thing that has ever happened. Like, and the fact that he just was brought up on the show like 5 minutes ago. Like, it is wild. Like, nobody knew she was even dating anyone until like this happened. So I am a huge Teen Mom fan. I have been watching these girls since 16 and Pregnant, my senior year of high school. I remember watching the first episode. It was Macy. And I remember watching it senior year of high school. Like, I'm so invested in these girls. Now, I was not a fan of like Teen Mom, the reunion where they would like go on vacation together.
Me neither.
I didn't watch that. But I just started Teen Mom, The Next Chapter. I hadn't been caught up. So I've been watching that. And then I've been also seeing clips and stuff on TikTok. The fact that this man went missing. She was at her brother's wedding, and if you know Teen Mom, you know Bubby,
Yes.
which is Amber's brother. It was Bubby's wedding, and they were in North Carolina, and the reports that came out said that they got into a fight and then he disappeared. Amber hopped on some random Teen Mom Instagram live and was crying and saying that they have such a good relationship and nobody think harsh things, and she didn't do anything to this man, and they're so in love, and like, you know, it was just very extra, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And like, I want to root for Amber. I do. I have always wanted to root for Amber. It's just so hard to do.
Yeah.
I know.
And if you guys, I know Liz mentioned it, but the recent clip of the last episode of Teen Mom: The Next Chapter, it was Leah's birthday, and Amber was like an hour and a half late, and then showed up and only wanted to talk about the fact that she had a new fiance, and that or not a new boyfriend, I'm sorry, not fiance, and that she wanted to have a baby with him, and Leah was just like not having it because her mom's crazy.
And it was her birthday party.
And it was her birthday, and then Amber called her a dick.
To her face or like behind her back?
She said, you're being a dick.
Yeah. And then Leah said something of like, you need to like compose yourself or something. And Amber was like, I'm holding myself back. Like she wanted to say something more. And oh my gosh. Did you watch the clip though of where Gary was like, basically made Leah invite Amber? Like she did not want Amber to come. And then
she never wants Amber to come to her birthday parties for the last couple of years.
She's 15. He should have respected that and been like, she doesn't need to come.
Because everyone feels bad for Amber too. Like I feel like she pays this pity party. Like Leah doesn't love me. Leah doesn't want to spend time with me. Well, you know, Leah has
wonder
had a hard
why
life. You chose jail for 5 years instead of like being in your daughter's life and being on probation. Like it was easier to go to jail for you. So you know, I don't. For Leah's sake, I hope that they can have a good relationship eventually, but I don't foresee it.
No, I think that Gary's wife is a better mom to Leah than Amber ever was or will be, honestly.
I think she just has such a issue like owning up to the things that she did too. There's for some reason everything's blowing up right now, so there's a bunch of old Teen Mom clips resurfacing on TikTok and stuff. And there was a clip that I watched this morning, and she's talking to Bubby. And she's saying like that Leah had a conversation with her when Leah was 12 and basically said like, we don't have a good relationship. Like I was really hurt from a lot of the things that you did in my childhood, and was just being honest with her. And Amber was basically like, the things that she was saying to me, like you would have flipped, like whatever. And Bubby was like, I mean, you were absent. So, like, she has a right to feel this way. And Amber was, like, pissed, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, she doesn't want to hear that. And Bubby was like, I'm just saying you can't be mad at her for, like, telling you her feelings. And she was just like, I was taking care of her on my own. Like, yeah, when she was, like, 3 years old.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so.
And not even really a lot then. Like, she mostly was always with Gary.
Was always present.
Yeah,
like, he's always been
dad,
a great dad for her.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Teen Mom until we got to that, like, reunion house, and I just, like, could not stand it anymore. And that honestly was enough for me to, like, stop watching Teen Mom altogether. So I hadn't, like, heard about them for a long time, but I did, like, this news did come across my feed. And I'm, like, sad because I feel like I want to root for Amber, right? Like she's talked about a lot of her mental health struggles, like her personality. What do you call that? Like personality disorders
borderline
or like
personality disorder.
Yeah.
And like I know it's very difficult for her to manage like all of that, but the fact that it's still affecting her so greatly and also affecting like Leah, her relationship with her daughter, like that's when you have to like do more work to stop perpetuating that cycle onto your children, you know?
And
like
there's ways to manage those. And like I know it's not gonna be perfect, obviously, but like I feel
it's not like you take medication and it goes away. Like that's not the solution.
You have to
either.
Put in the work.
You manage it, and I feel like she just blames that for everything and is like
she's stuck as being a victim.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And she can't own up to anything. Like I was watching that clip of her talking to Bubby, and it was just like so overwhelmingly like she just could not say, yes, I was absent. Like
right.
And you know, you have to be able to look at your life retrospectively and just be like, okay, maybe like there were mistakes made. Leah has every right to feel the way that she feels.
Totally.
Yeah.
And even if Amber was more present than we saw her being, like, Leah still has the right to feel any way that she feels about her childhood. So it's like, I don't know. I feel bad for everyone involved. I really wish she would stop dating these strange bums.
I know, and they've only been together for 6 months and they're already engaged. Like,
let's see. Okay, so we had Gary, who that was an explosive relationship. Then we had the guy she met at Walmart and was already changing Leah's diaper. and then we had, I think after that it was Matt.
Oh my god, I forgot about him.
Who had like 9 kids in another state.
He was like the most entertaining one of all of them, I think.
Yes.
And then Andrew,
who she like apparently pulled a machete on him at one point. Yeah. While he was holding their baby. Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, and now we've got Gary 2.0.
Yep.
Who ran away from her in North Carolina.
Ran away
somewhere.
To Oklahoma. Yeah.
She needs to like love herself.
She needs to not be with anybody.
You know? Yeah. Oh my god, she's very combative when people talk about her online. So I'm like, if she ever hears this, she's gonna come at me. But
come at us on the podcast.
I know.
Yeah.
Come talk to us. This is a safe space.
Yes.
I wish the best for her. I just think it's so random that this guy just basically ran away without a cell phone. And people are speculating on TikTok that he didn't take a cell phone because Amber was tracking him.
I mean, probably.
And I'm like, that's believable. And I just think it's funny that original Gary posted on Instagram like prayers for Gary 2.0, and then he
no freaking way.
Yeah, and then he tagged Carol Baskin. I don't know what he was insinuating, that Amber...
I think we know.
Yeah.
Wait, the last time I watched, he was still trying to maintain like a good relationship with Amber. Is that not the case anymore?
They do, but they still fight. Like I feel like, because he gets frustrated because Amber doesn't show up the way she's supposed to. She's late. She doesn't, like, Leah's frustrated with her, but he still does say, like, that's your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To, like, he's
trying.
He's never disparaging against her. And neither is Christina. They're always so supportive of, like, her having a relationship with her mom. And, I mean, I think that's all they can. Because even regardless of how they feel about Amber, it's still Leah's mom.
Yeah.
So I really respect Gary and Christina for that. But I guess in this season, Leah does ask to be adopted by Christina.
Oh, she does. That's
good
sweet.
for her. That's awesome.
I don't think it's going to happen because I think Amber will absolutely flip a lid. Yeah, but she does ask. It's like in the trailer that Leah asked for Christina to adopt her. I hope Gary 2.0 is found, and I hope that he's the real deal.
I hope he's okay.
And I hope that they're very in love, like she says they are.
Oh, I hope he runs away.
Yeah, I hope they don't stay together because it doesn't sound healthy.
But she said that they didn't, if what she's saying is true and they didn't get into a fight and he just, you know.
Do you believe her?
I don't believe her.
I want to believe her. For her sake, I want to believe her, but probably not. I mean, I don't know. Listen, she makes for great television.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
But anyway, Gary 2.0, we hope
Gary
you come home safe.
I hope you're all right.
Oh, man.
So now let's get into the special features part 2. Okay, so we will start with the casting tapes. And the first person that we see on the casting tapes was Jessica. And the first thing I noticed was that she's wearing that super cute Argyle sweater that we all love so much. Yes, I was so excited to see that.
It's so pretty.
So cute. So wait, but Kristen was wearing it, right? In the show.
Yes.
They share clothes so often.
They do.
Yes.
These girls.
Even the Alex H next to her was wearing that like pink, or again, pink, salmon, orange, whatever tank top. I feel like
apricot.
Not the hoodie though, not the infamous hoodie. But we've seen that on the show too. So they do rewear like clothes on the show.
Dude, I had that tank top
with the sparkly thing on the side.
I actually have it written for later when it was just Jessica and Alex. But yeah, I have
same
that
color.
Or not have. This was like high school era. But yeah, I loved, oh my God, anything that was like bedazzled or like had sparkles or glitter. Are you kidding? That was the height of fashion back then.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like, yeah. And if it was glittery and it had like a saying on it, like drama queen.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was your thing.
Or attitude problem, or
Okay, so when Jessica like started, I felt like she was having like a manic episode because she was just rambling and not like breathing through her sentences, and I was just like cracking up. She was talking about liking Jason and like, he likes me, he doesn't like me, he's my best friend. And Cedric told her that Jason does like her, but there's something stopping him, and it could be that he's scared of what other people will think. But Cedric likes her, and Tyler likes her, and Evan likes her. All these people are his best friends, and they like her. So what's the problem? Just tell me how you feel.
I know. I say this all the time, but Jessica reminds me so much of myself back then. Like, she's so insecure, and that's definitely how I was in high school. And I tried really hard not to show it, but I was always wondering, like, why this boy didn't like me, and why this girl hated me, and whatever.
Did you express it like this though?
I'm sure I did to my friends. Like, this is what this came off as, is like her just talking to her friends about how she was so frustrated with
Definitely.
Yeah.
I could like feel myself being like, oh my God, this is like what I sounded like. Like when I'm like talking about these like stupid boys that like are failing biology, like this is what this is what I sounded like. Why did I care so much? Like, I feel her frustration, and I don't know. I will always relate to Jessica. I was like, oh, this poor girl. Like, she's got so much going on, this poor high school girl. But I totally see why they wanted her on the show. She's a goldmine of drama.
Yes.
Like, she just listening to her talk, they were like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me more. Who was Jason? Like, they were ready.
This reminded me too of that scene during the winter formal where they're like taking pictures and stuff, where we see her like talking to a couple guys and she's just like not stopping, and they both look like, please leave me alone. I bet this is what she was saying, like stuff like this.
Just like, don't lie to me.
Yeah. We see Jason next, and he says that he likes Jessica but doesn't want a relationship with her right now. And when they hang out, she acts like they're just friends, but he's her differently. And I wonder when this interview took place, because like he was clean shaven and
he looks so young.
Yeah,
they all do. Different. They all do in these casting tapes. They look like babies.
Yeah,
comparatively to on the show. On the show, they look like adults.
Yeah,
especially Jason. But I do think this is like a good while before him and Jessica started like officially dating.
Yeah.
Because I think this was when they were still in like the talking phase, you know,
right.
That, like,
but she was already like obsessing over him.
How awful for Jessica to feel that way, and she's like in love with him, and then he's like, I don't want a relationship with her. But like obviously as the producers, they're like, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
we're going with these two.
She's like, and then he's like kissing me at school, and then he comes to my house, and I'm like, that's just gross, Jason. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, stop leading her on. If you don't want a relationship. Like, and then it irritated me beyond belief, because I hate the line, I just don't want a relationship right now. It's such a high school boy thing to say.
Yeah. And
it doesn't really mean anything, because you're in high school. It literally just means that you want to hook up but not commit, which is gross. How many times I heard that in my life? I'm so frustrated by it, because it's literally like, no, I like you, and like I want to make out, but like, I don't want you to be my girlfriend, because like, why? I want to go play Grand Theft Auto after school. Like, I don't know.
Wants to go kiss other girls.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't want to be tied down. Yeah.
Such a stupid, like you don't want to be tied down. You're 16.
Yeah.
Like, just date me.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. God, watching these shows really takes me back to that frustration of being a teenage girl and dealing with teenage boys. I just can't, like, Jason is the epitome of a teenage boy, and I just cannot stand it.
Next, we see Taylor and Alex M together, and they're kind of talking about like their friendship and stuff. And They say they don't ever really fight and they can just be in bad moods sometimes. Alex brings up the drive back from USC and says she was pretty mean, but Taylor says that she was just tired. And they say they're both stubborn and that they actually got into a fight getting to the interview spot, like where it was. And then Alex says, it's like love fighting and we get over it in 2 seconds. And Taylor says, she could be a bitch though. And then Alex says, oh, and you can't?
I thought they were really cute
They
together.
were so
like they
cute.
were so genuine in their friendship, and like it was such a they're like true best friends. They're very cute.
Yes, they are.
And I love Alex's personality more and more as an adult.
Me too.
She's so fun.
She's
and
so
I think
fun.
that she would have been so much fun to be friends with in high school. And like I said this before, but I didn't like her on the show growing up, like in high school. And I think it was just because like I didn't have her confidence.
Well, and you were so team Jessica that
and
you
I
couldn't,
was.
like, see past
I couldn't
that.
see past it. And like I really just didn't like her. But I think she's so fun now. And I think I would have like totally loved to be friends with her. She's just very like, I don't know, just a fun girl. And all of them seem so much younger in these casting tapes, especially Alex, Em, and Taylor.
Yeah, so then we got Taylor by herself next, and they're asking her about Talan, and she says that her and Talan hang out all the time, but it's never really dating. She says she doesn't want to date because it's senior year and stuff. And she says that her and Talan get in big fights where they scream at each other and people say that they just both secretly want a relationship. But she says that that's not true, but they're just both jealous and dramatic people.
That was my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering, like, what kind of fights were they getting into where they're like screaming at each other? I'm like, that's really freaking intense.
Yeah.
Even for like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
They were screaming at each other in that scene where she's drunk and wearing Talan's
God.
mom's shoes. I think it's like that.
But I can't believe they like went back and did that so many times and never actually like got together.
By the way, I actually went back and re-listened to our Taylor interview recently. My favorite part of that interview is where she's like, I was so drunk and I was like wearing his mom's shoes.
I wonder why she was wearing her shoes. That is so weird.
And she's like, you could see it in my face. I was like, that's so good. That's so funny. But yeah, the fact that Taylor and Talan used to get into screaming fights on the phone to the point that people thought they were actually together because of the intensity of the fight is hilarious.
Yeah.
Talan is the most dramatic person.
The most.
Like, he's fighting with everybody like he's their boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, literally everybody.
True,
Kristen, Taylor, like, he just is a drama king.
And then the last of the casting tapes was Jessica and Alex H together. And they're talking about how there aren't really cliques because everyone has grown up together. And Alex says it would be nice if everyone could just hang and have fun together. And then Jessica mumbles, well, that won't happen. And yeah, it was mostly just them kind of talking about like the cliques in high school and stuff.
I feel like it wasn't really casting tapes for this group of people.
It was like
kind
a
of
conversation.
kind of just like a catch up.
Yeah.
Like catch us up on the drama.
Tell us what's going on.
Yeah. How do you feel about so-and-so?
Right.
Like, what's going on? That kind of thing.
I think it's because nobody really auditioned.
Yeah.
For the season. Like, they just kind of were like, you're going to be on it. So this was probably like a literally catch us up on the drama so we can like have something to go off of maybe. So we can like figure out what our storylines are going to be.
You know who I feel like was like on the peripheral is Morgan S. Because I feel like she was like on it, and even like in one of the deleted scenes in the like Christmas episode.
Oh yeah.
I feel like she had a mic on and she was actually like getting a couple of lines, like they filmed her talking.
Yeah.
But for some reason she just like didn't make it in, I guess.
I wonder what happened.
And it could have easily been Alex M and Morgan instead of Taylor.
Yeah.
But she didn't have the Talan and Kristen connection, I guess.
That's true.
She's always on the periphery, Morgan S.
Yeah.
And what's cool is Taylor, Alex, and Morgan still hang out today.
The next special feature was the Laguna Guide to Live. And these were questions that were being asked to the cast members about love and relationships. And I'm just going to read a few of the questions that were asked and who I thought like gave the most interesting or funniest answers. I'm not going to go through all of them because there were a lot. So the first one was, what do you look for in the opposite sex? And I thought it was funny that Alex M said Latino, dark skin, dark hair, and eyes, because that is not Jason at all.
No, I have that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would have never guessed that she was into Latinos.
No.
But do you know who it is?
Mm-mm.
It's Frankie Delgado, who she said she
right.
dated later on.
Yeah.
When she said that, I was like, oh, that's her type. Like, not Jason.
That makes sense. Okay, so Taylor said to that question, she said, not too much muscle because that means they spend too much time on themselves. And don't be skinnier than me because that freaks me out.
Taylor, I freaking love her because she's consistent.
Yes.
Because she said this to Talan with the muscles.
Yes.
And I get it. Guys skinnier than me weird me out too. Like, it's like, I need to like hug you and feel like I'm not larger than you. I don't know. Don't be skinnier than me. That's weird. Like, Taylor, you and I, we're on the same wavelength.
And then Lauren says that she doesn't like guys that are too nice to her, and she likes a guy who is going to make fun of her. I know, I was like, huh? Like when she said that.
I know, I literally have written, well, Lauren, we see how this worked out for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't like a guy who's too nice to me.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Nah, we're gonna cut that in the bud. Girlfriend. Like, I wish she had a therapist at this time that could tell her, like, girl, this is toxic, like, thoughts, you know?
Like, listen to what you just said. Yeah.
You don't want a guy to be nice to you. Like,
wait, I didn't take it that way though. Because, you know, like, you want to be able to, like, make fun of your boyfriend, girlfriend sometimes. And, like, I feel like that's the, like, playfulness
like
that she
teasing
likes.
each other.
Yeah.
I get that, yeah. It's just the way she said it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the way she said it. And Adrienne, it's just because you're mean.
Excuse me.
I'm just kidding.
There was an Instagram post about something like that, about making fun of your partner or whatever, and I sent it to my boyfriend, and he goes, yeah, that's you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I know. So I get it, but I actually don't want to be made fun of. I want to poke fun at you.
Oh, why do I know that about you? Wait, I know this about you.
I'm not mean, guys.
No, Adrienne's not mean. She's just playful.
My God. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna have to act the complete opposite to redeem myself.
No. Don't do that.
Oh my God, no.
That would be boring.
Okay, wait, before we get off this, so Jessica, she says she likes confidence, not cockiness, and romantic stuff where you go out to your car and there's a little rose in your car or a note when you wake up. And I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was so cute.
Like, wait, what? Does this happen to you guys?
No.
I'm like, you know those videos of wives or people who are like, my husband leaves me a note in my lunchbox every single day, or he writes me a note every single day. I grew up thinking that was going to be me, and I wouldn't like settle on someone unless like he was like that.
Yeah.
Rude awakening. I don't get that, okay? And I kind of just have to accept and unlearn that like that is not normal.
Yeah.
And I'm mad about it.
It takes a little bit of training. You just gotta break them in.
You can't do it. Sometimes you just can't.
I don't know.
My Lord.
I always get the vibe that people who say stuff like that about their significant others, especially on social media, I'm like, you guys secretly like hate each other. Like when they're like gloating about how much, you know, that's like 9 times out of 10. I feel like that's what is actually going on, because me and Kyle never post mushy gushy stuff or anything like that, and we're great. But like,
you guys are so like good.
I don't,
like the way you talk, like you guys are so close. But you're right. And you know what? Secretly, when like I hear these like divorce announcements or stuff like that of those couples, I'm like, so it wasn't all that good.
It's always the people that are like, my one true love, my soulmate, blah, 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 you know. Yeah.
The more you talk about it on social media, I feel like it means the more your relationship sucks.
Yeah, like your insecurity and stuff. Yeah.
You know, there's a few bachelor couples that are like beloved in Bachelor Nation, and I definitely feel that way about them. Like sometimes I'm so freaking annoyed by what they post because I'm like, this just isn't real life, and like, you know, this can't be real. But they probably also know that like that's their brand and that's what people want to see. So maybe like they're posting it because of that. But like if they get divorced one day, I'm going to be like, I got to tell my freaking brain and be like, you were brainwashed into thinking that like this is what love looks like. And like it's not. That is not real. That is social media fakeness.
For sure. I do have to point out though that Steven describes like, he's like, when a girl is like not a hermit and like goes out every day and like whatever, and I literally have, he's describing the exact opposite of me, and we are not compatible. But I think Adrienne would be compatible with him.
What?
Yes, you like to do outdoorsy things. You go on hikes and runs, and you like to do stuff like that.
Oh
and
my God. No.
So I think he's looking for you.
I'm glad it sounds that way, but every single time I'm like, I can't wait to go home and sit on my couch. When I'm out, I'm like, I can't wait to sit on my couch.
Listen, you guys, Adrienne posts like herself running like every Sunday. And I'm like, I'm still in bed. I've got like a egg McMuffin hanging out of my mouth. Like, I'm like, this girl. You make me want to get up and go for a run. I don't do it. But I don't do it, but I should. And like, I got blood work done recently, and I need to start running. Let me tell you, I am.
Don't worry, guys. She's okay if she starts running now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you guys, I have high cholesterol. That's sad.
Well, with Egg McMuffin in bed.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Yeah.
I know. It's You're the fine. Egg McMuffins and the chicken tenders. I gotta reel it back. I know. I'm like, 32 with high cholesterol.
Did they say to change anything? Like, what do you have to do?
They told me no medicine, because once you get on that stuff, you like have to be on it forever. So she was like, it's not high enough for me to like worry, but she said we don't want it to get any higher. Mm-hmm. So she just said to watch my carbs and to increase my exercise, which is fine because right now my exercise is none. So if I just start a little exercise, that will be an increase.
Just take a walk every now and then or something.
Well, I have been. I've been walking, and I've been trying to like eat better, like less fast food. Not that I really don't eat a lot of fast food. I just like, instead of going to McDonald's, I'm gonna go home now, and I'm gonna make like something at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though McDonald's is easier,
Yes. Yeah. It's the little things, little changes.
Yes. Little tiny changes. And we'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I feel like I'm like gonna get my shit together now. Like I'm gonna be
it's like a reason to make a change or something. Yeah.
I was also severely vitamin D deficient, so I'm like working on that, like going outside more.
Yeah.
People are gonna think I'm an actual hermit. I'm not. I just apparently like really need to soak up the sun a little bit more and take my supplements, but I think I'm gonna be like less of a nap girly.
Oh yeah. You and naps.
I think I'm so tired all the time because I'm severely vitamin D deficient. Like seriously.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. It's supposed to be between 30 and 100 and mine is 8.6.
Oh my gosh. It's almost 0.
I know. So wow. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, it's severe. Please come pick up these pills now.
Yeah.
Wow. She's like, you might die. Like,
I'm sure you'll notice a difference after you've been on it for a while with like energy.
She said it's going to take me a little bit to notice a difference because I'm so low. She's like, once you like are consistent with it, you're going to notice like a difference.
But dude, with your walking outside to get exercise and getting vitamin D,
it's going to be
a whole new person.
It's going to be my hot girl era. I'm telling you.
And then you'll be Steven's type.
Everything you've ever wanted.
Yay! I'm so excited. God. Now, Adrienne, you can have him.
usually don't find him that annoying, so I'll take him. What does he say?
Put that in my mouth. That's your future.
Yes.
As long as I don't have to say that.
Gross. Okay, the next question I put down was, what do you look for in a relationship? Steven, Kristen, and Jason all say a lot of trust, and Jason actually said, it's hard coming from my mouth, but trust. That was great.
God.
I know. And Jessica said she looks for honesty and communication. Everybody else kind of had like generic responses to that.
Well, Kristen saying being able to be with someone for the whole day and not get sick of them. And I'm
gosh.
Like,
yeah.
A day?
Yeah.
Like, that's so extra. Being able to be with someone for the whole day. And it's so Kristen, like, you know, she's so hot and cold. Like, you know, breakfast is with one guy, lunch is with another, and dinner is with, you know, someone else. So it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like, maybe this is why we need to just chill. Chill for a little bit.
Okay, what is the worst thing about being in a relationship? Alex M. and Jason both say jealousy. Jessica says letting your heart out to somebody and having it stomped on. And she said, that sucks.
That made me so sad.
That made me so sad.
I know. Like, Jessica.
And then I loved Lauren's answer. Hers was, the worst thing about being in a relationship is holidays and buying gifts, because she hates buying gifts for boyfriends.
That was really funny.
So true. And it's so true.
Yeah.
I hate buying gifts for guys.
You never really know what to get them unless you like know them super, super well. Yeah.
I guess that's true.
My ex, like, he was my first, like, real boyfriend where you've been dating for a while, so you have to get, like, a legit Christmas gift because you've been dating a while and you know he's gonna get you, like, jewelry or something lit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have no idea what to get him that is, like, worth value. So I bought him a Game Boy.
Dude, that's good.
That's a good gift. That's expensive.
That's so nice.
I know. And I was like, but it was, like, the only thing I could think of because he was a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he liked it,
Did he like
but
it?
I was like,
yeah,
oh
he
God,
did,
and
I
love that.
I know nothing about games. I literally just play The Sims on my computer. I know nothing. I played the original Nintendo, like the very first one from the 80s.
Yeah,
like with Duck Hunt on it. Like that's all I know. And so I walked into GameStop and I was like, I need a Game Boy for my boyfriend, and I have no idea what kind. And they were like, well, like, they saw me coming. They were so excited because they could sell me all the, you know, shit. But yeah, I don't know. I never know what to get. Like, what else do you get them other than game stuff?
Clothes.
Yeah.
It's like easy to get clothes.
Clothes? But that's not like clothes aren't like a gift.
Well,
like,
if it's like a cool t-shirt. I get Kyle t-shirts all the time. Like,
really? That's like a legit gift?
Stuff.
Yeah, or a nice like jacket or nice pants.
I never considered clothes like a gift for a guy. I don't know why.
Oh, interesting. I do. Or like a watch. Okay, one time, actually, the very first year I bought Max a nice like watch from Movement when we were in university, which was like a lot of money at that time, okay? We like go to Mexico on vacation. He like puts it on the top shelf. This was like the week after. He grabs his like passport or something. The watch drops and falls on the ground, and then it breaks. And then I literally look at it. I'm like, did you just drop the watch that I got you? And he's like, I have not bought him a watch since then. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not wasting my money.
Adrienne.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible.
See, I'm not mean. Things happen that have made me feel this way, okay?
I'm not mean. I'm just bitter.
I have another. I bought him a beautiful jacket. It was like kind of like Leatherman style, where it's like with the leather sleeves and then with like the, what do you call that? Like a sports
Letterman jacket?
Yeah.
Like a varsity jacket.
Yes.
Yeah.
He loved it, wore it for years. We went on vacation. We got a rental car. We left. We got to the airport. And he's like, my jacket.
No.
I'm like, excuse me.
Oh my gosh.
Left it in the back seat. Okay. So I'm like, why don't you keep the things that I give you?
I literally would be getting him gift cards and only gift cards from now on.
Or just
so cash. You can pick out the own
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Pick out your own things to lose.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But I'm scared he's going to pick out ugly things.
Oh. You have to approve of what he uses it on. Yeah.
It's like my only time to influence his wardrobe is during like, birthdays or whatever. So I'm like, I like to buy clothes actually because I get to like put a little bit of style into his wardrobe.
That's so
She's like,
funny.
I'm not mean, but I have to pick out his clothes for him.
We are going to a wedding. On one of the nights, because it's like a destination wedding, they've asked us to wear white. So I like went and bought myself a white dress, and he went to the store and he ended up buying a white golf shirt. And I'm like, why did you buy a golf shirt? He's like, it's nice. I'm like, no, it's not. And then he's
like a polo?
Not a polo, like a golf shirt, like where it's like a little meshy.
Oh, okay.
Like literally Tiger Woods, like in the PGA Tour playing golf. And I'm like, but this is going to stay in your wardrobe for after. And he's like known to wear golf shirts to like nice dinners. And I'm like, this is not what that's for. Like, this is not a polo shirt.
Mm-hmm.
A polo shirt is different. So that's why I really need to infuse some style into this man's wardrobe.
Next question. Would you ever cheat on a boyfriend or girlfriend? Jason is the first one that we see, and he says, wait, say that again? That was good. And then the other one I wrote down was that Kristen says, sometimes if you cheat, it can make you closer because you realize you really messed up, and it makes you realize how much you care about your boyfriend or girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm like, what about how the other person feels in that scenario, Kristen?
She's like, that's why I cheat. I want to be closer to my boyfriend.
She couldn't answer without thinking about herself. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one I have was define hooking up. And Alex M says, it's a broad phrase that can be kissing to having sex, and it's like a safety net of what to say. And then pretty much everyone said the same thing as Alex M. And Jason says that it would be a one-night thing, well, maybe 2 nights of hooking up, for whatever that means.
I did have, when they ask like about cheating on a boyfriend, Kristen says, if you want to cheat on someone, break up with them. Which I am like such a full advocate of this. I literally used to tell people that I dated, if you are in a situation where you are going to cheat on me, literally call me on the phone and break up with me first, because that's better than cheating on me. I would rather literally be broken up with while you're looking at her about to like kiss her than like you cheat on me. Like, it's just a respect thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I was like, yes, if you want to cheat on someone, break up with them. It's that easy. There's no need to cheat. So that's my 2 cents on that. Thanks, Kristen.
Yes.
Wait, but back to this hooking up question. Don't you think that if you say like, oh, I hooked up with so-and-so, everyone's like follow-up question is like, did you sleep with them? It's like, you don't just leave it at like, did you hook up?
Right.
Yeah.
I know. They all act like they can just say like, I hooked up with this person and no one's going to ask.
Yeah.
Like, it's vague if you're not close to that person, but like if you're friends with that person, everyone's going to be like, oh, did you kiss? Like, what else did you do? Wait, and then Jessica says, okay, so when you're not in a relationship with someone, you're just like at a party and you hook up. And I laugh because I'm like, so Jason, when she hooked up with Jason when he was with Alex.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. And then it's funny because their answers like change over the years.
Totally.
With what hookup means. Like, because back then they all said like it can mean anything, and now they pretty much all say that it's sex.
Well, and Jessica also remembered everything, every single detail at this point of her life, but not when we like talked to her. So I'm like, this was still in the part that she like blocked off, in her memory years on.
Were there any questions that I didn't bring up that you guys had notes for?
No, I think it was pretty generic. It was cute, but I wouldn't tell anyone to run out and buy the DVDs for this feature.
Not for that, no.
Maybe for the cast interviews. Those were pretty juicy.
Yes, I thought the cast interviews were really good. And I liked some of the deleted scenes too.
Yeah, I like the deleted scenes a lot. You know what I didn't see you put on your list, Liz? It's Talan and Alex M's performance.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Is the whole thing on there?
The entire performance is
Where
on
was
there.
it?
What? It said "Fight the Slide."
You know what? I started that, and then I was like, oh, this is probably just the families being interviewed, so I didn't finish it.
I did that with some others, but I watched the whole thing, and Talan's like entire song is on it.
Okay.
It's not good. Spoiler alert.
Somewhere dead in Hollywood.
Yeah. And it's funny because like the only thing I could think of was like Lauren and Jason downstairs while he was like playing. Or sorry, that was Alex, but like I could just like watch the scene. And Alex M was good, but their entire performance is on the DVD.
Okay.
I will have to check that out. Yeah, I did see it, but I was like,
Same. I was like, next.
That's so bad. But
so
I was
mean.
like, I know. Maybe next time.
There was also a Cosmo Girl shoot and a 17 photo shoot. Did you guys see that one?
I skimmed through those. Yeah.
I didn't. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I literally only did what Liz did.
No, that's okay. The 17 one, it was cool because it was like Kristen's first like big cover shoot, and they really said that they picked her because she was like the breakout star, which is so true. You know, like everyone saw that star quality in her. But they dressed her in clothes that were like kind of ugly, in my opinion.
I thought so too. Yeah, it didn't look like stuff she would actually wear.
Not at all.
Yeah.
17 magazine always did that. And it drove me nuts because none of it was like cute nor anything that I wanted to wear. And it's not the point of a cover girl.
It's very colorful, and they were like layering tanks and you know, wearing those like Henley shirts and stuff, but like it just didn't go well together.
But you know who always was on point with their covers? Honestly, Teen Vogue.
Oh, yes. It was always very like artsy.
And it was always stuff like, even if it wasn't stuff that you would wear like every day, it was always stuff that like was just cute, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, but I want to go back to this photo shoot. So one of the creative like directors there, he gave out some tips. So tip 1, a beauty tip, was don't overuse lip liner. And I'm like, ha, that is not what they say today. And then the other one he said was like, layer tanks. It's nice when you can see different colored tanks on each other. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, don't choose jewelry that's too flashy or the jewelry wears you. But then he literally picked like the biggest butterfly like pendant for Kristen's necklace. So I'm like, what the hell is he talking about?
Not listening to himself. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one for Cosmo Girl. So they did a photo shoot with the boys.
With the guys. Yeah.
Trey, Steven, Talan, and I put, what the hell is Jeff doing here?
Yeah. I thought the same thing. Yeah. I skimmed through that one too, and I'm like, why are they including him?
Which also makes me wonder if he was supposed to be, a bigger part of the show. I'm like, why did they include him?
Yeah.
The director of that shoot said Jeff and Steven have good faces. Then he goes, Talan has an interesting face. And then he goes, Trey has a unique face. I'm like, dude, this guy. Jeez. Brutal. I mean, I've said this before. Steven, Talan, and Trey are cute, but I just don't think Jeff is that cute.
I don't either. I think Trey's the cutest out of them.
Yeah.
I mean, for my taste.
Yeah.
I would be the most into Trey, probably.
Oh, I thought you would have been Jeff. You love the baby face, said.
I do think Jeff is cute, but like not now.
No, not now.
You in high school,
yeah. Yeah, I probably would have been into
Jeff. Perfect. I'll take Steven. Liz will take Trey. And you can have Jeff.
Sorry, Talan.
Yeah.
No, but like I want Trey now. I've learned. I've grown.
So the next one I was going to talk about is the Laguna Memories, the cast home videos. This was a 22-minute long segment of childhood home videos of Kristen, Jessica, Lauren, and Steven. And I thought this was really odd. I thought it was going to be high school home videos, but instead it was them as kids, like preschool, elementary school. And I didn't watch all 22 minutes. I kind of like watched some and then fast forwarded it a little bit. But it highlighted things like Lauren and her sister getting a kitten, Steven's first bike, the first day of school, and then footage of them as babies in the bathtub, which I'm like, that's
I
not
thought that was
okay.
so weird when I clicked into Jessica and it was
Mhm.
literally like her as a 1-year-old in the bath.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'm so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But they were cute videos, but like, you know?
Just why was that included? I feel like, and if that was me, I wouldn't want a bunch of random people having videos of me as a
No.
child. Like, that's odd.
I would have been like, absolutely not.
You know, I never thought about that kind of stuff before,
Yeah.
but now after hearing like more creepy stories of people and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, yeah, I guess.
It's not that weird because, like, listen, like, did you guys have? I don't know if you guys had this in your yearbooks, but like, both for the end of middle school and the end of high school, your parents could send in like a baby picture of you and write you like a note.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think it was kind of like their equivalent of that, of just like, you know, saying goodbye.
videos.
And
it was just so much too. It was like so much content of them as kids, which
I will say
it was a lot.
The only thing that Lauren looks exactly the same, like when
She
she was
did.
a child.
Yeah.
It literally is just like baby Lauren, but
Mhm.
like the same.
Mhm. And her sister too. They look exactly the same as they do now.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then the other Laguna Memories was the cast photo albums, and this was a collection of photos from almost every cast member, ranging from them as kids to high school. And I thought the high school photos were really fun because they just were like photos that all of us have like from high school, but they were very like MySpace, obviously a lot taken on like digital cameras and stuff. There was like a lot of photos though.
Yeah, my DVD wouldn't work, so I saw the first photo of everybody's. So I saw a really cute picture of Alex M and Taylor and like Cedric and Jason, I think. No, Cedric.
Mhm.
And that was pretty much all I saw.
Yeah, I skipped over this one.
So a lot of just like friends hanging out photos, yeah.
Oh, wait, I will say Jessica's, the first picture was her and Jason at one of her formal.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, why is that the first picture?
Wait, they didn't even go together, right?
No. It was like a picture like from inside the dance, like a selfie.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god.
Awkward. So then there were highlights, and there were 2 of these. One was called Girls Are Vicious, and this was a 1-minute compilation of the girls being catty, making fun of each other, gossiping about each other, and lots of them calling each other sluts and bitches. And then the other one was called The 2 Triangles, and it was a 5-minute compilation of scenes referring to the Jason, Jessica, Alex M love triangle and the Steven, Lauren, and Kristen love triangle. And we did get a lot of the fun lines like hottie with a body or Jessica saying swear in our relationship. But it was really long, 5 minutes of this. It was like the longest recap ever. So
I thought it was cute though. Like if you're ever trying to get somebody into Laguna Beach,
that's a good thing to show.
That's a good thing to show them, yeah.
And then the last thing I looked at was the MTV Overdrive section. And if you go to the MTV Overdrive feature, it tells you about how to get to the website, which obviously doesn't exist anymore, but it also has 2 sneak peeks of segments that would have been on Overdrive. And it shows the best moments from the Laguna Beach after show, which were the Going Home With and Laguna Beach Style. Going Home With was a compilation of the cast doing tours of their houses. And then Laguna Beach Style was them talking about their fashion choices and what they like and dislike with fashion. And I skimmed through these, but I wish there was a way for us to watch the Laguna Beach after show episodes because this is all stuff that was on there. And unfortunately, I tried to find it, and the only thing I could find was that you can watch it on Paramount Plus, but only in Australia for whatever reason.
Wait, is this like the after show with Dan and Jesse?
I'm not sure.
Do you guys know what that is?
That was only the Hills, wasn't it?
They did it for Laguna too.
Did they?
Because like there are things that happen that like I literally hear them say in my head because it was like I loved them at the time, and I'm wondering if like that's the after show because they called themselves the after show.
Yeah, I remember it for the Hills, and I did watch like some of it, like when it was bigger, like the finale and like stuff like that. But I didn't watch it consistently.
Yeah.
Are they Canadian?
Yes.
Is that okay?
That's why I feel like I was like, I'm not sure if it's as big in the States, but for every single like show premiere and finale, they like went to Toronto to film the after show with Dan and Jesse.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember like watching that, like for premieres and stuff. And
yeah,
every now and then MTV would be like, stay for the after show. And like they would have, but not every episode. I remember it was like only some that they would advertise it.
It always ran after the episode, so I would always watch them. And this is like Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek, for anyone that doesn't know. And they were such like a sarcastic and funny duo that like loved pop culture. So they were such good hosts, I thought. And they edited it in a way that was like kind of mean to the cast, honestly. Sometimes
like
if
snarky,
they did like like if they did funny things, they would start every single episode with like running through like the funny like noises that people would make or moments. It was awesome.
Yeah, I remember specifically the finale of The Hills, and they were talking to Audrina, and like Shay was asking her if the Justin Bobby stuff was like over, and she was like getting irritated. And I was just like, ooh, Audrina's getting kind of like feisty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
She was just like, no, yeah, it's over. Yeah, like it's over. No, it's over. Like she was not trying to have that conversation.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's probably somebody out there who has like a VHS tape where they like recorded all of these after the show things. You know what I mean? Like how like I used to do that with VHS tapes of like, I don't want to miss this, so I'm going to record it on this tape. And then I still have it like years later.
Someone has it.
Yeah, somebody's got to have it out there. So maybe somebody could hook us up with that. So yeah, there were a few other things like the magazine photo shoots we mentioned. And then there was one other behind the scenes look at the finale of season 2 when it aired live on MTV with no commercial breaks. But that was super short too. That it was like 3 minutes long. So is there anything else that I missed that you guys thought was interesting?
For me, that was all I had interest in.
Wait, not all that you watched, right?
The things I watched were interesting. Yeah.
All that I had interest in. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Cool.
That's all she wrote. Except for all the other things I didn't watch.
Okay.
You have to check out Talan's performance.
Yeah,
I will. Now that I know what that is, I literally saw it and was like, no, don't have time. Which is really sad.
You're like, ew, people lost their houses.
I know, I'm such a bitch. I know. It was 2005. We've rebuilt, okay?
To be fair, it was boring. Like, the first part was boring.
Okay, well, next week we will be answering some burning fan questions that you guys have for us. So if you haven't had a chance to ask us any questions that you might have, now is your last chance to drop us a line and maybe we will answer some of your questions. So you can email us at millennialtv@gmail, millennialteav@gmail.com, or send us a message on Instagram or Reddit. Thank you so much for listening to our Season 2 recap of Laguna Beach. You can follow us on our Instagram at Millennial TV. That's Millennial TEAV on Instagram and on Reddit. If you have any suggestions for our podcast, you can also send us an email at millennialtv@gmail.com. And please give us a follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts to get notified when we release our episodes every Tuesday. Thanks again and see you next week.